What's that? I'm bringing it back. I'm bringing it back. What's going on, guys? I'm about to check out this video about Tim Walz spiraling out of control and all this nastiness. Let's get straight into it. This has been suggested by you guys. I'm thinking, who is this? This is Doug in Exile.
The Trump administration is closing the vice slowly on.
Let me slow that down. I be forgetting when I'm not on stream, I'll listen to everything sped up. Sometimes faster than this. I watched a whole TV show on 3x speed yesterday. It was fire though.
Tim Walz, as the Somali fraud scandal in Minnesota is completely blowing up in his face. Welcome to Doug in Exile. This is where the happy patriots are. Part of why we're happy is because we won the last election.
Thank you, Katarina. Appreciate the heck out of that. Let me, I'm gonna pin that link.
None of this would be happening, guys, if Trump didn't win. Always go back and thank God that Kamala Harris is not president. Here's Brandon Gill smashing Tim Walz.
The famous economist Milton Friedman famously remarked that you can't have both open borders and a welfare state. And for decades, the Democrats have been trying to have both. They've invited as many people as they possibly could from all over the globe into our communities, including tens of thousands of Somalians into Minnesota, and then opened up the welfare state to
which never made sense to me. It's like, damn, can we care about Americans? Like, can Americans get some love? Can you actually make sure we not out here in these streets before we taking care of other people? Like, them doing that allows people to do all the scams and fraud, but I don't think they care.
Provide benefits with almost no anti-fraud provisions whatsoever, and this is the obvious result. We knew this would happen, and yet Democrats are pushing this for political gain.
It's purely for political gain. They do not care about people. I've said this before. They're using Somali immigrants. That's why I like this episode, guys. We're going into the big picture philosophy of illegal immigration. Will Trump stick to it? You know, he's got to feel our backing him so that the polls remain strong for him. Here's Byron Donalds on the subject also, just on the basic philosophy of illegal immigration.
We're going to have people from the left talk about pathways to citizenship. I don't support them. I never have, because what it does is it creates an open sieve where you're going to have more illegal immigration into the United States. My position has been clear. I'm opposed to birthright citizenship, have been for a long time. We need to end chain migration, go back to a quota system, immigration into the United States.
The wind's blocking him out there, but he says we need to end chain migration. That is when you bring a family in and then other family members automatically come in. And his biggest beef right here, the explanation is we can't, in culture, that is, make enough of these immigrants that are.
Hey, what's up, Chris? How you doing? How are you?
Coming in, if they're isolated in a community and they remain Somali, they never become American. They're not pro-Constitution. They're not pro-America. They're just here to grift. Same thing with the illegals from South America. The problem is not that other people are coming to this country. This country is made up of all kinds of people that came from other countries, but they wanted to come here and become what makes America great again, which is not what made Mexico great or Somali great, because they're dumps.
Which prioritizes immigration that supports America and America's interests, not chain migration, which what we have now, which doesn't promote assimilation of even legal immigrants coming into the United States. That's my position. It hasn't changed.
Okay, I've got this urgent new message from our show sponsor, Chapter, and this affects the post-annual enrollment plan. Annual enrollment plan ended on Sunday.
Announcement. What's going down?
So now there's a new game in town. If you're aging in, that is, if you're turning 65 and you need help picking your Medicare helper, then call Chapter. The call is free.
I ain't there yet, even though I feel like it. Y'all see me with this damn heating pad on that I'm extra thankful for. That be getting me through the rough days. But I ain't at 65.
They'll help you as you turn 65, pick your very first Medicare plan. They'll shop all of them for you. Here's a quick post from one of you. It says, I called Chapter with a 4-hour wait. By the way, that 4-hour wait is no longer because
I'm not sure if this is still an ad or is he. Damn, he kind of dying off. Right? He do that a little naturally right there. That's a little too skillful. He slipped right into the ad. I don't know if it stopped, if it kept going. Okay. Might need to study that for when I start doing that. Y'all know me, sponsors I turned down, bro. It is crazy. It is, I be saying no like it's nobody business, and then see everybody on YouTube say yes, which makes me side eye a lot of things. I don't know if I want to say what company this was too, but I see every YouTuber sponsored by them, and I'm like, am I the only one that said no? Yeah, maybe. I didn't like what they was trying to get me to do.
You guys love them, so I love them. You might be in the wrong plan because Medicare.gov website gave out false information, and the government is giving some people a second chance to remedy that. Call Chapter and they'll help you navigate from now through all of Q1 for your Medicare Advantage plan. And you're still able.
Y'all said they be sending all the good food to other countries and give us the bad stuff. It's crazy.
At the bottom of the screen, 631-961-8696. That's my friends at Chapter. Tell them Doug in Exile sent you. 63
problem gets fixed is that real wage growth goes up enough so that that huge 23% hole that was dug by Joe Biden is a thing of the past, because people have money in their pockets, enough money in their pockets to bring their real standard of living back up. The real standard of living in the U.S., the purchasing power of ordinary Americans has gone up by about $1,200 so far this year.
Are you feeling that yet? Are you getting any benefit yet? Let me know in the chat below. You guys tell me if you believe what Hassett is saying. Remember, this could be the next head of the Fed when Jerome Powell steps down.
If you look at the great data on Friday that said that real wages were up 2.5% over the last few months, that happens when you get positive supply in the economy, and that's what drives growth up and prices down. And so what you want to do is lock that kind of gain in where you're seeing real wages coming from positive supply shocks. And if you do that, then just as in the 90s when we had positive supply shocks from the computer, and Alan Greenspan was willing to sort of let the economy run a little bit hotter, we have an opportunity with AI and all the productivity that we're seeing to do so again.
Y'all said, I think the ad he's done is cool. It's a program that helps people on elderly insurance pick the right plan for them for free, not trying to push promo. Just was saying, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. He did that joint a little too smooth. I'm like, he slipped into that, like, to where I didn't even know it was an ad. But yeah, I'm not mad at it. I was talking about sponsors that it's a different sponsor. I don't want to say the sponsor's name because I just think that would be bad. But because this is everyone and their mama got this damn sponsor, it seems like almost. But I'm not gonna say it. But they hit me up and was trying to ask for some bull crap. They wanted me to pretty much promote a service that's supposed to protect you. But in doing so, they ask for all your personal information. And I didn't feel comfortable with that. That just sounds crazy to me. And it seems like a bunch of people are promoting this damn thing. And I'm like, why is everyone? But I turned it down. I was just like, nah, but we'll pay you this. And I was like, nah. Let's see now, nah, I ain't doing that. Is it the data breach one? That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't even have to say the name. You know exactly which one I'm talking about. And mind you, I was going back and forth with them for a minute. And that was the breaking point. First, it was the money. And then once they told me the details of what they wanted me to do, I was like, nah. First, I'm like, I'm not doing that for that. That sounds insane. And you want me to wait? How? I'm not doing that. Oh, blah, 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 blah. And then eventually they agreed to whatever I was okay with. And then when they sent me the details, I was like, you didn't put that in the first emails, like the first few emails. You didn't tell me you wanted people's personal fucking information. It's like, I wish you would have started with that. I don't feel comfortable. I wouldn't feel comfortable using it. Why would I recommend for my supporters to sign up for this? Oh, but it's going to protect them by taking their personal information. That's pretty odd. I got a lot of things on my computer that protect that. Not one is asking for anything but payments. That's it. Just pay the fee. You good. But yeah, I felt mad uncomfortable with that. Doug was the creator of Cat's Crouch on Nickelodeon. I don't think I ever heard of that. And the newer VeggieTales, I heard of that. I definitely, in the church, they was playing VeggieTales like it was nobody's business back in the day. He worked a lot on Netflix. Oh, that was cool. That sounds dope. He said, yep, I knew it. Yeah, he definitely seen exactly which one I'm talking about, which is wild. I didn't even have to say much. But the way that everybody is pushing this damn brand, I'm like, bam, y'all comfortable with your supporters' personal information being on there? Not me. The newer VeggieTales, yeah, I rocked with the old VeggieTales back in the day. Hey, how you doing, FYT? So how am I doing? I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I'm chilling, kicking it with the Fang Gang. About to reminisce about the old VeggieTales. I did remember that. VeggieTales and Bible Man. They played that 24/7 in the church I went to.
But to do so with a great deal of caution as you watch the inflation numbers go by.
Okay, so we're ending Biden's inflation. That's the good news. Here's Scott Bessent. We showed him in the last video. He's just one of my favorite thinkers on.
Your name's not a problem. I'm just blind. I was over here using the squinties. The squinties with it so I could see it. That's the hood glasses. But you said just call UK? No problem.
The All In podcast.
My worry is that the Fed is turning into universal basic income for PhD economy.
I can't talk about old TV shows all day. That's my shit.
Right. It's like a welfare program for PhD economists, because that's all it's doing is giving them money for being wrong. All the experts are wrong, according to Bessent and Hassett.
That I don't know what they do. They're never right. If you were to
maybe you should double the number of PhDs. If you go to 700, they might get it right.
Well, look. I mean, if you were to look at the central value tendency versus how they've done, it's shocking. Right. It's shocking. I said, like, if air traffic controllers did this, no one would get in an airplane.
If air traffic controller performed as bad as the economic experts that are shouting down the Trump administration, saying this is wrong, this is scary, they've never seen it operate before. But you look at the numbers of the economy, and it is recovering. It's coming back around, slow, but it's going to heat up over time, especially if we get that ease in interest rates, which is scheduled. It's supposed to come up, and then the internet's going to blow up again. The stock market's going to blow up again. Here's Election Wizard. President Trump's approval rating climbed.
Especially Warner Bros. It seems. Especially Warner Bros. It seems. I just been looking to that on my personal time. What's going on with that? There's a lot of craziness. That definitely might go up. I haven't checked in the last day or so, but that's probably going to go up.
By 5 points since November, and we're here in December. According to Harvard, the approval is up to 47%. Disapprove is down with 49%. That just means people aren't buying the lies.
And when it comes to stocks, I really only mess with ETFs, if I'm just being honest.
Of media anymore. That's and now here's another one with Kylie McEnany with Scott Bessent. I think Scott Bessent makes an important point. What's the important point?
And I interpret that for you. I'll translate. He's saying no excuses here.
No excuses. And especially when it was actually some of the defendants' lawyers who said it was like they were filling the cookie jar up, and like they knew people were stealing out of the cookie jar. They just kept refilling it and refilling it and refilling it. And I think Scott Bessent makes an important point there. You know, we love immigrants who come to this country, but we need an assimilation process. We need a fervor. You could have your own culture. That's fine. But a fervor for the American dream, a love for this country, an appreciation for taxpayer dollars, an appreciation for the values that bind us together, despite our different cultures, backgrounds, languages, etc. I think that's an important point you've heard Bessent make, Stephen Miller as well.
Look at...
My bad, guys. I tried to press the mute button. I'm pressing it like 5 times. That ain't even not working. That's like, I looked at it like, and then it started working. I'm like, okay, that's crazy. I had to give you a mean look for you to work me, but my bad. I hate coughing at the mic.
Ilhan Omar, what a scam. Does it look like she's assimilating into our culture? Looks like her head is being swallowed by a mollusk. That's how I describe her. Wait, there's more on the Supreme Court. Will the justices back up President Trump when a lower court says that he exceeded his authority?
We're going to hear oral arguments on the limits of the executive branch. Justices will decide if President Trump exceeded his authority by firing a member of the Federal Trade Commission, which is an independent agency. That case could expand presidential powers if the court sides with the White House.
He's wrong on that. It will not expand presidential powers if the court sides with the White House. It will correctly declare the presidential powers as correct under Trump. That doesn't expand anything. He should be allowed to fire people in the FTC. That is under the presidential authority. So now will the Supreme Court overstep their boundaries and limit the executive branch's authority?
You should be able to fire who the hell you want.
Believe they won't under John Roberts and under Clarence Thomas. I don't believe they will. That's my opinion. I'll keep you guys posted on that Supreme Court news. Just wanted to throw that in as a bonus. Little dessert. Here's just the news. Here's the best news of the day. House releases $900 billion defense spending authorization bill, $9 billion over Trump's request. Yes, we need defense spending just to catch up and make up for what Joe Biden cut and turned into a LGBTQ musical, turned our military into it, and we're still recovering from that. The House late Sunday, that's last night, released the text of the national...
It turned it into Cats. There was another one I was on a Stump. Nah, Stump ain't LBGT.
Defense Authorization Act.
Cats is pretty alphabet. Cats is all rent.
Which codifies several of President Trump's executive orders. The 3,000-page bill, I'm against that, was released on Sunday yesterday and is about $8 billion more than what Trump initially requested in the budget, Deseret News reported. We'll see if Trump is on board with that. The NDAA codifies at least 15 of Trump's executive orders, which is good because if they're not passed into law, they go away when the next Democrat comes in. All those executive orders, all 15 of them can go away. But if you pass them into law, it's much harder to get rid of them, including those related to construction of the Golden Dome missile defense system, building physical barriers and deploying more troops on the southern border and modernizing development weapons. The bill also includes revitalizing the defense industrial base and undoing woke policies enacted during the Biden administration. I'm for that, as my son is a Poolee in the Marines. He's going to be sent off next month. And so I don't want to have him be indoctrinated in a bunch of woke, DEI, LGBTQ agenda when he needs to learn to just be a lethal fighting machine. Let me know in the...
That's facts. That's what the focus should be. Putting your life on the line. You're like, what? Absolutely. That's what your focus should be. If you go to have him putting life on the line, protecting us, yeah. I think it should be trained like a universal soldier in that bitch. But anyway, tell me what your opinion is down in the comment section. Hit the like button. Share the video as well. All that good stuff. Also hit the hype button if you're able to.